For 40 years, through all my losses, my mother, my girl.
At 71, John Travolta is stepping into a chapter of life that fans never imagined seeing so soon. Known for his iconic roles on screen, from the dance floors of Saturday Night Fever to the high-flying excitement of Pulp Fiction, Travolta has been a figure of charisma, talent, and enduring presence for decades. But now, whispers and reports suggest that he is preparing to say goodbye not to his career entirely, but to the very public life that has defined him for so long. For decades, Travolta captivated audiences with his performances, charm, and larger-than-life persona. Fans have followed his journey through triumphs, tragedies, comebacks, and reinventions. But aging, personal reflection, and a desire for quiet seem to be leading him toward a different path. This is not simply retirement, it is a deliberate shift. A turning inward after years of being under the relentless spotlight. The world has watched as John Travolta's life unfolded both on and off the screen. And the thought of him stepping back evokes a complex mix of nostalgia, admiration, and curiosity. What does it mean when a legend begins to withdraw? How will the Hollywood icon navigate a quieter life after decades of being center stage? The answers, as Travolta himself hints, are both personal and profound, promising a glimpse into the man behind the fame, the choices behind the spotlight, and the legacy that will endure long after the curtain falls. John Travolta's life has always been a story of movement, energy, and transformation. From his breakout role in Welcome Back, Kotter, to the global phenomenon of Saturday Night Fever, Travolta's career has spanned decades, genres, and generations. He became a symbol not just of talent, but of perseverance, charm, and the ability to reinvent himself at every turn. Yet now, at 71, there is a sense that Travolta is preparing to say goodbye to a version of life that has been inseparable from the public gaze. For years, he has been in the spotlight, experiencing both the euphoria of success and the heartbreak of personal loss. His performances were never just entertainment, they were an extension of himself, infused with personality, energy, and emotion. Travolta's dedication to his craft made him a legend, but it also demanded constant attention and scrutiny. In the past decade, fans have noticed subtle shifts, fewer public appearances, more selective projects, and a tendency to focus on family and personal well-being over professional exposure. This move toward quiet reflection is not unusual for someone who has lived life so publicly. Travolta has faced triumphs, tragedies, and challenges that few could navigate with such resilience. His career highs were meteoric award-winning performances, box office success, and a cultural influence that touched millions. Yet, alongside the glamour were moments of profound grief, including the loss of loved ones and the pressures of maintaining relevance in an ever-changing industry. These experiences have shaped the man behind the celebrity, deepening his perspective on what truly matters. At 71, Travolta's contemplation of saying goodbye seems to reflect both a personal and professional evolution. It is not an abrupt retreat, but a careful decision to prioritize inner peace and meaningful connections over the relentless demands of fame. For decades, he gave everything to the public: his talent, personality, and time, and now the desire to step back carries a sense of completeness. This is a man who has lived fully, loved deeply, and left a permanent mark on the world of entertainment. Fans are naturally curious about what this farewell entails. Will it mean retirement from acting entirely, or a shift towards selective projects that align with his personal values? Perhaps it signifies a deeper withdrawal from Hollywood culture, focusing on family, travel, and personal pursuits that had to be deferred during decades of professional intensity. Whatever the case, Travolta's decision reflects a common truth among icons. Legacy is not only about public accolades, but about the life one cultivates beyond the screen. Even in stepping back, Travolta's influence is unmistakable. His performances continue to inspire new generations of actors, dancers, and filmmakers. His energy, charisma, and dedication remain benchmarks of excellence. Saying goodbye to the public eye does not diminish the work he has done. Instead, it reframes it, allowing both Travolta and his audience to appreciate the journey with perspective, gratitude, and a sense of closure. Ultimately, this period of reflection is not an ending but a transition. John Travolta at 71 is embracing the next phase of life with awareness, dignity, and intentionality. The farewell he seems to be preparing is not merely about stepping away from fame, it is about reclaiming time, focusing on what is meaningful, and leaving behind a legacy that resonates far beyond the spotlight. In understanding this moment, fans gain insight not only into his career but into the life of a man who has navigated joy, grief, and extraordinary success with resilience and heart. As John Travolta approaches 71, the reasons behind his decision to step back from the public eye are deeply personal. For someone whose entire adult life has been spent in the spotlight, the constant scrutiny and pressure can be exhausting. Travolta has experienced the exhilaration of fame, but he has also endured the darker sides of celebrity, the invasive media, unrealistic expectations, and the emotional toll of living under constant observation. In recent years, he has shown a quiet inclination to focus on what truly matters: family, personal growth, and meaningful pursuits that go beyond red carpets and box office numbers. Travolta's family has always been central to his life. Over the years, he has spoken about the importance of his children, his relationships, and the small, private moments that sustain him away from Hollywood glamour. Stepping back now allows him to prioritize these connections, spending more time nurturing bonds that have been difficult to maintain amid filming schedules and public obligations. The desire to reclaim time with loved ones is a recurring theme for many artists at this stage. But for Travolta, it carries added weight given the personal losses he has endured, reminding him that life is finite and precious. Beyond family, Travolta is reflecting on his legacy. Having created iconic roles that span decades, he understands that his impact is already firmly established. He does not need to chase fame or prove relevance. Instead, his focus has shifted toward leaving a meaningful mark through the quality of his work and the example he sets for others. This perspective enables him to make selective choices, whether that means engaging in roles that inspire him creatively or supporting causes and initiatives that resonate with his values. His decisions are guided less by commercial success and more by personal fulfillment. Health and vitality also play a role in this reflective period. Travolta has maintained a demanding schedule for decades, with physically intensive roles, travel, and long hours on set. At 71, he is acutely aware of the importance of balance, listening to his body, prioritizing wellness, and pacing himself to ensure that he can enjoy life fully beyond the camera. The transition towards saying goodbye to constant public exposure is both practical and intentional, allowing him to conserve energy for the moments and projects that truly matter. This period of stepping back is not only about preservation but also about appreciation. Travolta has expressed gratitude for the experiences, friendships, and creative opportunities that Hollywood has provided. By consciously deciding to withdraw from certain aspects of fame, he creates space to savor memories, reflect on accomplishments, and focus on what brings him joy without distraction. It is a bittersweet, yet empowering phase that allows him to reclaim control over a life that has often been dictated by schedules, expectations, and public demands. Fans may feel a sense of loss at the thought of Travolta's reduced visibility, but understanding his intentions reframes the narrative. This is not a retreat out of fear or fatigue. It is a deliberate embrace of a new chapter where quality, connection, and personal fulfillment take precedence. Travolta's decision reflects maturity, self-awareness, and a deep respect for the passage of time, illustrating that legacy is not solely defined by continued public presence but by the richness of the life one leads behind the scenes. Ultimately, John Travolta's choice to say goodbye to parts of the spotlight is a statement of autonomy, reflection, and wisdom. At 71, he navigates the delicate balance between honoring his extraordinary past and embracing the private, meaningful life that awaits him. This transition is a testament to his resilience, foresight, and understanding that sometimes the greatest achievements come not from constant visibility, but from intentional, thoughtful living. John Travolta's reflection at 71 is as much about legacy as it is about personal peace. Over the course of his career, he has experienced unprecedented highs and profound lows. From blockbuster success to deeply personal tragedies, Travolta's contemplation of saying goodbye is shaped by decades of experience, not only as an actor, but as a human being navigating fame, loss, and the pursuit of meaning. The decision is not about ending his story, but redefining it on his own terms. For fans, Travolta represents more than the characters he has portrayed. He embodies an era of Hollywood, a fusion of talent, charisma, and dedication that inspired countless viewers. His performances have been cultural touchstones, offering escape, joy, and inspiration. Yet the decision to step back invites audiences to look beyond the screen and appreciate the man behind the persona. Travolta is choosing to reclaim the parts of life that fame has long overshadowed. Time with family, quiet moments of reflection, and the freedom to engage with life without constant scrutiny. Public response to this news has been mixed with nostalgia, admiration, and empathy. Fans express sadness at the idea of reduced visibility, but many also convey understanding. Travolta's decision resonates because it reflects a universal truth. There comes a point in life when personal fulfillment outweighs public expectation. Observers recognize that this is a natural evolution for someone who has given so much to audiences over decades. His choice becomes a lesson in balance, demonstrating that even legends need space for personal growth, joy, and introspection. Travolta himself reflects on the journey, acknowledging both the sacrifices and the rewards of fame. He speaks of the intensity of the entertainment industry, the exhilaration of performing, and the moments that defined his career. But he also speaks candidly about the cost, the relentless public gaze, the pressure to remain relevant, and the challenge of finding time for personal priorities. Saying goodbye, therefore, is not a retreat, it is a deliberate act of self-preservation. A conscious decision to live fully and authentically outside the glare of constant attention. Career reflection is central to this period of life. Travolta is aware that his legacy is firmly established. From the energetic dance-driven performances of Saturday Night Fever to the nuanced, dramatic roles in Pulp Fiction and beyond, he has left a lasting mark on film history. Choosing to step back does not diminish these achievements. Instead, it reframes them, allowing fans and contemporaries alike to appreciate the depth, versatility, and dedication that have defined his career. By consciously shaping the final chapters of his public life, Travolta ensures that his story ends on his own terms, highlighting intentionality over inevitability. This moment also inspires reflection on the human side of fame. Travolta's decision underscores the importance of empathy, patience, and understanding from audiences. Behind every performance is a person navigating life's challenges, joys, and transitions. By prioritizing personal well-being, he models an important lesson for both peers and fans, that life is not solely defined by public recognition, and that fulfillment often comes from quiet, private moments rather than applause. Ultimately, John Travolta's choice to say goodbye at 71 illustrates courage, wisdom, and self-awareness. It is a deliberate embrace of a life that honors both the achievements of the past and the possibilities of the future. Fans may miss his constant presence, but they gain insight into a man who has lived fully, loved deeply, and chosen to define his legacy in the most authentic way possible. This period of reflection is not an end, but a continuation of a remarkable journey, guided by intention, dignity, and the enduring impact of his extraordinary career. As John Travolta moves forward at 71, his decision to step back carries profound meaning for both his personal life and his legacy. This period is defined not by endings, but by intentional transitions. Travolta is choosing to prioritize what matters most: time with family, personal fulfillment, and the quiet joys of life that have often been overshadowed by decades of fame. The decision reflects wisdom and self-awareness, demonstrating that even those who have lived extraordinary public lives can find value in retreat, reflection, and selective engagement. Fans are naturally curious about what saying goodbye entails. For some, it may mean a reduced presence in film or television, focusing only on projects that resonate personally. For others, it could signify a shift toward private endeavors, charitable work, or personal passions that were long deferred due to the demands of his career. Whatever the path, the choice is a deliberate one, guided not by obligation or expectation, but by the desire to live authentically and meaningfully in the years ahead. This phase also underscores the human side of celebrity. Travolta's life has been intensely public, with every role, interview, and appearance scrutinized by fans and media alike. By stepping back, he reminds audiences that behind the glamour lies a person navigating the complexities of life, age, and personal growth. It is a subtle lesson in empathy. The public's fascination is powerful, but the individual's needs and peace matter just as much. Travolta's example shows that choosing oneself is not selfish, it is necessary for balance, longevity, and happiness. Reflection on legacy is central to this moment. Travolta has left an indelible mark on Hollywood and global popular culture. His performances have entertained, inspired, and resonated with generations. Yet he understands that legacy is not solely defined by accolades or public visibility, it is also measured by the quality of relationships, the choices made behind the scenes, and the way one navigates life beyond the spotlight. Saying goodbye on his own terms allows Travolta to ensure that the narrative of his life remains authentic, controlled, and purposeful. The cultural impact of this transition is significant. Fans and fellow actors alike are reminded of the importance of agency, intentionality, and self-care. Travolta's decision encouraged admiration, not only for past achievements but also for the courage it takes to step away when the time feels right. It reframes the conversation around aging, fame, and fulfillment, highlighting that true success encompasses personal satisfaction as much as professional recognition. Even in stepping back, Travolta's influence continues to resonate. His work serves as a benchmark for talent, discipline, and versatility. Aspiring performers look to him as a model of commitment and creativity. And his choice to slow down reinforces the idea that career longevity is as much about knowing when to step back as it is about taking center stage. The decision becomes part of the legacy itself, illustrating that wisdom, timing, and self-awareness are essential elements of an enduring career. Ultimately, John Travolta at 71 is embracing life with intention, dignity, and reflection. This moment is not an ending, but a transition toward balance, authenticity, and personal fulfillment. Fans may experience nostalgia for the roles and performances that define their experience of him. Yet they also gain a deeper understanding of the man behind the fame, someone who values family, personal growth, and meaningful living above all else. Travolta's farewell is a testament to resilience, foresight, and the enduring power of choosing one's path. It is a reminder that the most remarkable journeys are not measured only by visibility or applause, but by the thoughtful, intentional steps taken along the way, ensuring that a life well lived leaves a legacy that will be cherished for generations to come.